Hello and welcome to the newspaper review here on TAV TV. As you know, in Port Harcourt today is a rainy day and we are doing this indoor today. And I'm not here alone. I'm here with a political analyst in person of Mr. Eyo Okeme. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much, sir. So before we go ahead to the analysis of the paper for today, I'll be reading the newspaper headline for today, and I'll be starting with the Vanguard newspaper. On the board headline here says, Nigerians to pay 950 naira per litre NNPCL. The details of that will be found on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. 75 died in Kaduna accident. Zamfara boat mishap. The details of that will be found on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. Tinubu announced disaster relief fund. The details of that will be found on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. Fix Nigeria before it's too late, Khan tells leaders. And next we'll be moving to the Daily Independence. On the board headline here says, Tinubu in Maiduguri pledges federal government support for flood victims. And the details of that will be found on page 6 of the Daily Independence. My 8-point agenda linked to digital identity initiatives. The details of that will be found on page 29 of the Vanguard newspaper. Federal states, LG shared 3.473 trillion naira in second quarter 2024. The details of that will be found on page 6 of the Daily Independence. 4 die of acute diarrhea in Yobe. Maiduguri flood in Dume asks federal government to rescue trapped residents. The details of that will be found on page 7 of the Daily Independence. Polaris Bank makes board appointment, names Gidado chairman. The details of this will also be found on page 7 of the Daily Independence. And that will be all for the newspaper headline. As we'll be hitting to the analysis of these headlines, and we'll be starting with this headline here that says, on the Vanguard newspaper here that says, Nigerians pay 950 naira per litre NNPC. Mr. Eyo, what can you say about this headline?
Okay, I wouldn't say I have much to actually add to the price of PMS,
yes,
being 950. This is one of the things I must say, since this administration, even long before this administration came into power, is one of the things we have been clamoring for. It's one of the things we have been crying and begging. It's PMS. Generally,
yes,
it is no longer news that in Nigeria, PMS, once the price of PMS skyrockets, every commodity in the market,
right,
sincerely is no longer news. Even the very little child in the on the street, you ask the child, okay, what do you know about the price of things? He will tell you, say, fuel don't rise, or things like that. So
yes,
it is very, very common for Nigerians, I must confess. So it is very, very common for Nigerians when PMS, fuel, petrol is being mentioned. And today, having to see the price of fuel placed at 950 naira per litre, from my own point of view, I must say, we were not expecting less.
yes,
I stand to be corrected. Dangote is not a saint. Dangote is not our savior. Neither is Dangote refinery in Nigeria's nation, Nigeria, has come to take away the hardship,
yes,
we have been facing. So let's stop pointing fingers at, okay, this is what Dangote has placed. We know, casting our minds back to early June, July, Dangote actually gave an estimate that when his refinery gets working, we'll be selling price of PMS at 550. Most Nigerians were saying, okay, it should be at 250. But hello, what's happening today? We're seeing 950 naira per litre price of PMS. That's to show you how so I wasn't really far from the truth when I said Dangote refinery is not a saving strategy. I must say it's not an escape route completely, though it's an escape route to some extent, but not generally an escape route. So most Nigerians I know are saying, okay, they're like accusing Dangote and Dangote group of companies that okay, they promise us that once the refinery gets working, the PMS will actually drop to at least 300 and the likes of it. But most people fail to remember that okay, before this refinery was actually put into place, there were a lot of controversies that actually built over time. We could remember just a few months ago, even got to a point where Dangote said he's ready to sell out the
refinery.
The refinery if the federal government doesn't heal to the demand.
Yes.
Now it got to a point where Dangote's diesel was actually accused of being adulterated, not being original. So a lot of controversies are we actually talking about the landed property, the land where this refinery is being built, where Lagos State government are yet to give Nigerians a clear evidence,
a clear account of obviously what really happened.
So there has not been some level of fairness in terms of this Dangote refinery regarding the operations even till now. So I am not surprised that the Dangote refinery are offering Nigerians and the federal government 950 naira, because let's not forget this is Dangote refinery, not a federal refinery. This is like a personal. It's like you now owning a commodity. You decide how much you sell. So let my point exactly. Let Nigerians stop pointing wrong fingers, saying that okay. I overheard some Nigerians on the social media saying Dangote group of companies are actually looting Nigerians and Dangote is actually extorting from the poor masses, that because it's the only one currently operating and the likes of it. But we fail to forget that okay, our federal government on the other hand have actually failed to actually meet up their demands. We have not forgotten here in Rivers State there's a refinery.
Okay, before you continue with that question, let me ask you a very quick question before you continue. Nigeria as a nation, we know we supply other countries with this crude oil.
Obviously.
You understand? And in return, they sell to us at a higher price. But in their countries, which we know very well, this fuel are being sold out to their citizens at a lesser price. And we have refineries in Nigeria. We have a refinery in Kaduna. We have a refinery here in Port Harcourt. We have a refinery in Lagos. Yeah. So why are these refineries? Why our government not making these refineries work so that things will be better for the common masses? Because it looks like each time fuel rises, everything follows suit.
It doesn't just look like that is how it is.
You understand? So what do you think is happening to these refineries that are not working, and this importation of we selling crude oil to them and then selling the refined oil to us? Like
okay, before I get to that your question, it really saddens our hearts generally, in as much as I'm not trying to promote the activities by our dearest Dangote group of companies having to sell PMS at 950. It is quite saddening that we are the ones actually generating this crude. We are the ones refining it. Most Nigerians are asking, why is it being sold at this particular rate? Now, I'll answer this your question, casting our minds back to the very first time Nigerian's border was closed, and it made rounds. That was not the first time it was closed, but at this particular region it was closed and it made rounds. For the first time, most Nigerians got to know that, most common men on the street got to know that okay, borders can be closed. We know that for the lenient ones, we know that okay, there is a border between the different countries.
A lot of people don't actually know that this food, most of this food are being imported.
Now, for the first time, our grains we actually restricted, and the Buhari's-led administration said, okay, let's start generating, let's start growing. That was when we had this hashtag patronize made in Nigerian products. But that did not really change anything. That did not add Now, funny enough, our local grains as at that 2019, our local grains actually skyrocketed. It became more costlier than the Uncle Ben's and the likes of it.
Yes.
What actually happened? Okay, it was very okay for the price of these grains to actually increase in the space of the first 1 month where the borders were closed, because everybody's attention was focused on our local grains.
Yes.
What really happened after like 6 months, when everybody is now farming, but bringing it back to the future now, has the local grains, has it actually dropped in price?
Before you go there, let me chip something in.
Okay.
In as much as during that period everybody went back to farming, we're just really doing this work because insecurity at that point become very high.
Okay.
This henchman of the thing, this hashtag henchman, we're not allowing the common man to go to farm, because you hear killings every day, especially in the middle belt.
Okay.
The likes of Benue, Nasarawa, Kogi, Plateau. You understand the level of insecurity, and that region, that is where the farming is being done the most.
Okay.
If you look at Nigeria very well, the middle belt, they do the most of the farming, producing of our grains and all that. You understand? Insecurity become very high, and people were scared to go to farm. Okay. I think that should be one of the reasons.
You're actually placing insecurity as a yardstick for the price of things, not the price of grains not actually reducing.
Yes.
We know insecurity. We don't want to touch the part of insecurity because it gets to affect every single area. But
yes,
the general notion here in Nigeria is that it does not obey the law of gravity in terms of price of things.
Yes, exactly.
Everything that goes up
never
in Nigeria never, and we will never come down. Now, it was very funny when I saw I'll actually call it demands from the NTAS protesters.
Yes.
Demanding for it to be at 100 naira. Me and you know this is Nigeria, sir. There is
not
no way
possible.
PMS can be 100 naira.
Okay.
So we were not expecting. Now, coming back to Dangote Refinery, we were not expecting price of PMS to be at least 600. We're not expecting the price of PMS to be at 600. So Nigerians generally, my own thoughts now should be, Nigerians should actually, what we needed was a functional refinery.
Yes.
We have gotten it.
Yes.
Let's stop the attitude of complaining. Now we are complaining about the price. 950. If it can be 950 and stationary, it should not. See, my problem now is this 950. I hope it will not increase.
No, I believe if this 950 really work out, things will begin to go down, because
obviously,
if 950 really work out, the government will have to
adjust to that.
Yes.
So let's have a stable pump price. 950. We're okay with it.
Okay.
We just know, okay, streamline your life and your budget to PMS being at 950 and it's stationary. We don't want it. The reason why we were complaining is that, okay, today you wake up, it's 950, tomorrow is 1,100 naira, next tomorrow it's actually fluctuating. So we need a steady pump price, and if Dangote group of companies, Dangote Refinery, can give us a steady pump price, come on, we are good to go.
Okay, so very quick question, because time is not on our side. Very quick question, maybe in just 2-3 minutes you answer that. Tinubu in Maiduguri pledges federal government support for flood victims. We know that for the past few days, flood have taken the
almost half
of Borno state. Like people have lost their lives. People have lost their livestock. We see that even some prisoners escaped. About 20 or 200 or something. I can't place my fingers on the figures. So what do you think about the federal government being supportive of this flood? Do you think it will yield any positive impact?
See, if you want to take good analysis regarding government response to happening,
yes,
it looks as if it's like a routine. It's like a routine. Okay, let's just watch and see how it happens, and this is what we will do.
Yes.
Our routine checks on past events, it's very wrong. The issue of flooding, we know of late. I'll actually give kudos to environmental bodies like the likes of Ecotax and the likes of it. Yes. Where they are working for the growth of the environment. But there has been drastic change in terms of the climate. Yes. So this didn't take us by surprise completely, not 100% surprise. Yes. We knew, like 3 months back, we saw on the headlines there will be heavy downpour. There will be heavy rains across like 4 states. River State was inclusive. Yes. Now, what is the after effects of heavy rain? It's flood. What is the after effect of heavy rain? Our banks would actually close. So we're not actually expecting anything less. But bringing it back now to our federal government, what did we actually do to tackle this? This is not the first time. 2016, I stand to be corrected. 2016, we had massive flood. That would have taught us lessons. That would have actually... See, we literally use politics to play around natural things. Yes, that is a natural occurrence. We literally use politics to foreplay things that should actually be put into place. Yes. I'm actually speaking from the context of an angry Nigerian. Hello, this is Borno State. Half of Borno State has been washed out. Half of it. I know the environmental bodies in Nigerian nation, Nigeria, would say, okay, they were not fully prepared. We are not always prepared. No, the thing is, I don't think it's the preparation that is the problem. I think Nigerians, as Nigerians, we have this I don't care. Yes, attitude. Nonchalant. This I don't care attitude. You understand? Actually, this before the flood happened, it was shown on the news. Obviously. And I believe if Nigerians were careful enough to prepare for the unforeseen circumstances like this, you understand? It wouldn't have been this bad. Okay, now taking us back to government response again. Yes. They are going to give palliatives. Sorry for the loss of lives in Borno State. Yes. It saddens every Nigerian. Every single Nigerian. It's our dearest motherland. So what affects one affects all. And kudos to Mr. President. I would not say less of my dearest President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's actually working. Yes. But sorry, I have to put a but there. There are things that need to be in place. Our president actually visiting Borno State in times like this is good. It's very good. It's a kudos. It's a nice thing to, the best thing to do as a president. Not even sending representatives to show you that our president has the people in heart. Though most Nigerians are yet to actually affirm to that, the president has us in heart. But rather than having to give palliatives, rather than having to create internally displaced camps, the IDP camps, rather than waiting for after effect and okay, let's work after the error has taken place. Why don't we look for measures? Because lives have been lost. I won't even talk about those that I overheard most Nigerians said it's natural. Those prisoners that actually escaped. It was nature that freed them. We literally catch cruises every single scene. It is actually saddening though. But regardless of all these happenings, let's learn from our mistakes. It's all right. We have just like scriptures will say, we have gone around this mountain long enough. Come on. It is time to turn. It's all right. Thank you, Mr. Ayo, for coming to our show today. Thank you. And thank you out there for watching. I hope you have learned from this beautiful analysis. My name is Benjamin Agbile. Do well to subscribe to our channel. Comment in the comment section to be part of this program. Like, and my name remains Benjamin Agbile. Thank you for watching.